we're back for the start of the second half. A 1-0 lead for UHSP. Rachel Harris with the goal in the first half. Shot and off the bar. Off the post on that shot from Waldorf to open up the second half. We talked about at halftime for the second half, wanting to start out strong for UHSP. Instead, it's the Warriors with a big opportunity. Great shot there, but it does not go in. They've got a deep throw-in coming.
That was Olivia Cross. We talked about how strong she was in that first half. Put a good shot on. Kind of got another flat-footed. And fortunate enough for the U-Tactics to hit the post, and then the rebound finds the foot of a U-Tactic defender.
Yeah, and it feels like this wind is into the face of Waldorf in the second half. If it was in the reverse direction, you have to bet that one would have found the back of the net. This one popped towards goal. Nether comes out to grab it up. And a couple of dangerous chances there for Waldorf. So they are picking up right where they left off in that first half. A monster boot by Nether, well crossed midfield. And now Izzy Rogers on a dangerous ball. Here comes Izzy. Sends it towards goal, and a good job by the newly entered keeper for Waldorf, Mia Ramirez, the junior, taking over for Abigail Michael.
Waldorf employed the two-goalie system in their first game against Culver Stockton as well, so using these non-conference early games to get a feel on which keeper they may want to go with when conference play begins.
Stegman looking for Izzy Rogers. Player down is Valencia for Waldorf. Valenciano. And we will get a stoppage right off the bat here in the second half. So dangerous chance already for Waldorf. UHSP comes right back the other direction, but similar story to what we saw in the first half, Michael, where Izzy Rogers is isolated but just not quite finding the space and time that she needs to create like we're used to seeing.
With another player down here for the Warriors too, with a short bench. Maybe a tough way to continue on this game as Valenciano thankfully back up on her feet. She'll be walking off to the sideline. It is a very warm day out here, and we talked about this in the men's game. Early in the season, cramps are going to happen, conditioning, all that kind of stuff. It's paramount early on to get into that condition, but we're already seeing some of that here in this women's game as well.
Looks like it'll be Sakira Brown to come in for her. Meanwhile, for UHSP, Kaylee Park set to check in here as Rachel Harris is now coming off, the goal scorer for the U-Tactics. Lila Stegman set to throw this one in.
Rogers having a conversation with the referee as well.
I think that was a yellow card that was just issued right there. Palms to the sky and a shrug towards the bench for Izzy Rogers. Segment in for Hildebrand. Good tackle along the end line, but that will concede a corner kick for UHSP.
Third one of the afternoon for the U-Tactics. First one was a short cross into Rogers. Second one was a little bit more dangerous in the middle of the box. See which way they go now. They're going to load up on that far side. and rush in.
And a Tyree swinging one in with a right foot. That one had good pace and location on it. She might get another crack at it here. Tyree instead gives it for Park just outside the 18. Now up to the top of the box. Coliano battling for it. Agnew emerges with a shot, and Ramirez able to gobble it up. Couldn't quite tell if that one was going to be on frame, but it was close enough that Ramirez could not take any chances. Throw-in coming for UHSP. Trinity Wimberly providing. Rogers centering. Tyree didn't quite strike it correctly. Up near the shin as it goes over the bar. So good moments at the beginning of this first half for Waldorf. Now they're looking for another opportunity, and it's turned away quickly by Slemmer. And now Wimberly up the sideline. That skips over the foot of Coliano.
We talked about it in the first half, just the confidence they have on that back line, especially with Slemmer there manning that center back position. Wimberly continuing to move up that sideline into the offensive zone and giving the Tactics just another layer of offense for the Warriors to have to deal with.
And a good sign that Valenciano is set to check back in for Waldorf. Of course, they cannot afford to lose any more depth as Brown will come back to the bench. Hildebrand intercepts that throw-in. Rogers trying to get onto the end of it, and Ramirez just able to get there in time, but sends it out for a corner kick.
Player as dangerous as Rogers bearing down on you. That's all you need to do. Yeah, you're going to concede the corner, but it's much better than trying to go back up the middle and maybe having Rogers get a toe on it and putting it into the back of the net.
Looks like it will be Izzy to take the corner. Run being made towards that back post. It comes to the top of the box. Stegman chipping it on, but not nearly enough on that to give Ramirez any trouble. Nice physical play by the freshman Stegman. Able to get it to Tyree inside the box. Here's Hildebrand. Cuts in, now back out. Right-footed shot blocked in front. And Waldorf able to partially clear. It comes to the foot of Park, though. And now Coliano splitting a couple defenders. Long shot over the bar. That one had plenty of velocity on it.
Love that shot idea. It's got a little bit underneath of that one, but you're seeing with the Tactics team, they're not waiting for the ball to come to them, and when they have it at their feet, they're just immediately going forward. There's no side to side. They will pass it, but everything is moving forward towards the goal.
And that aggressiveness makes sense when you consider the goal that was scored by Rachel Harris in the first half. Looked like a non-threatening ball, and it ends up in the back of the net. Another chance here as Rogers sends it out wide for Tyree, just able to keep it inbound. Cross, right in front and over. Hildebrand had it on a platter.
With Rogers right there as well, if you're Ramirez, you're kind of caught in no man's land because you got Rogers right there and then Hildebrand coming in that second wave. You're just kind of stuck and hoping that the ball falls into the right place that you guessed.
What a tremendous cross that was by Tyree. And now Waldorf trying to stabilize here, and I think we're starting to see the cracks with one of their better players having not returned to this game in Kaylee Webb. We were talking about how integral she had been in that first half for Waldorf. She has not returned, and now UHSP starting to come away with some really good chances. Agnew towards the corner, and Stegman showing off the speed. Long stride for the freshman. Working it towards the end line. She could not keep it in. And this will be a goal kick. Starting to see some of the qualities of why Stegman is a player that this coaching staff is excited about. Coliano tripped up just along the 18. Park, good job to win it back. Izzy Rogers from the corner of the box. Shot off the bar. Still in play, though. Tyree runs it down. What a great touch that was to herself. And now Agnew running it down. Park again. They cycle it back around. Coliano trying to feed it through. And Agnew again. Long shot, not quite enough on that one as it goes wide right of the frame.
Maybe you're right, though. You're starting to see just the ability for the Tactics to maintain that possession, get the open looks. They've got time and space. And the legs are starting to go a little bit from this Warriors squad. You have to wonder if they're going to really just start to pack things in and maybe take those one-off chances on the counter.
Another tough ball from Mia Ramirez. Tyree goes with the shot, and Ramirez just able to pounce on it to her right. So not only is Hannah Tyree providing great opportunities for her teammates, another tough turnover in their own end. Agnew, though, couldn't keep her balance over the top of the ball. Tyree also getting a chance of her own. Slemmer steps in nicely, and now it's Stegman again. Stegman for Tyree. Hannah has been the real playmaker in the second half for UHSP. Able to get a foot on that one. Stegman, centering attempt. Valenciano cut it off, paid the price as she sends it out for a deep throw-in for the U-Tactics. Rogers steps in for it. Stegman able to feed that one through the legs of the defender, and now it's Izzy Rogers. Hildebrand offside.
It was back on that backfield down the line here. The flag has been up for a while.
Like that was Stegman asking for a potential stub, but she, again, makes a good play on the ball. Here's Tyree. Across the 18, Rogers feeds it along. Coliano, shot high.
They're getting their looks. They just got to get those down a little bit more onto the goal and make the goalie work on them. For Waldorf, they've got to find a way to get this ball cleared on a goal kick or even on these free kicks. They've been keeping it on the ground, and that's been easy pickings for this U-Tactics squad.
Another of this talented freshman class set to check in, Marin Chamness. Will get her first opportunity of the game at the next opportunity. Stegman, great ball towards Tyree. Valenciano able to cut it off. And now Park again. Park has been really good since entered into this one. Good job to work back for it, though. Izzy Rogers trying to break through. Ramirez just able to slide on top of it in time.
Gotta love the aggressiveness there by Ramirez. You know, been under pressure here this entire second half, but hasn't sat back in the goal. She's really pushed out to try and make something happen.
Slemmer showing her agility and quickness right there, and now it's Hildebrand in a dangerous spot. Tried to feed a through ball in there, but Valenciano wise to it. side down towards the corner. This is a nice one for Olivia Cross. We saw Cross with that dangerous shot earlier, and they trip her up. Was it in the box is the question.
I don't think so. I think it's just out of the box. They're going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, no doubt yellow given to Emma Funk. And it will be just a fraction of a foot outside of the box. That is a huge break for the Tactics. Peyton Witt standing over it. Three-woman wall for the Tactics. Let's see if this is a shot or if it goes to one of those options near the top of the box right now. Vigno just beyond the 18, and now they all line up towards that far post. Some good size out there for Waldorf. They can find a way to high point one. Witt looking that direction, sends it that way. It's headed away by Sarah Agnew. Back into the box. This is dangerous. Oh, wow. Nether just able to get there in time. Olivia Cross was lurking once again.
It's another one of those balls, though, that gets in on the defender and the forward is able to get around and slip that one between the legs of the defender and give themselves an opportunity. A 1-0 game. This one is far from over, and as the Warriors continue to stick around in this one, it makes you a little nervous.
Hildebrand looking for a runner. She's got one in Stegman. Stegman with a step. The shot off the side of the netting. Lila Stegman asking for that sub quite a while ago now, and she has been extremely involved since then and has looked really good. Now that sub will come for Stegman. That was ruled deflected, so a corner kick coming for UHSP.
Thank you. Well, how about that, too? You know, a freshman out there, you know, makes the call that she, you know, needs to come out, get that break, but instead of, you know, just kind of not pushing, she goes out there and makes even better plays while she's waiting for that sub.
Tyree, a high arcing centering attempt from the corner. It spits back out her way. Tyree for Agnew. Sarah sends one along, and no problem here for Ramirez. Danger here as Coliano puts some pressure on. Agnew stepping up. Got caught between her knees for a second. She sticks with it to get it to Hildebrand. Bart stops on a dime, had it deflected, but Hildebrand with it once again. Agnew out wide. Good job to cut inside with it. She and Coliano got mixed up there, though. Trying to get it over to Pickle. And Waldorf able to clear for the time being. Trinity Wimberly has a pinball off her shin, but it went out. This will be a Eutectics throw.
Again, everything's just moving forward. Even when it's a goal kick or a goalie play, you know, the Eutectics they're facing the goalie and then they're coming towards that ball, not allowing the Warriors a chance to just even receive it and move forward.
Izzy Rogers running out of real estate just by a step there. Ramirez has had trouble getting it out of her own end on these restarts. 28 minutes left to play in regulation, and once again, Tyree right on the spot. Here's a chance for the freshman, and that one went a little bit wide in front of the net. Camness had a look at it.
She was looking past, not shot, and if she would have been looking shot, she would have had a good look.
Erin Camness in a good position, tried to get it to the star player, Izzy Rogers, but it eludes her. And now a goal kick. time it's going to be Kylie Charles to take it. And again, it's cut off. Hildebrand into the box. Shot saved by Ramirez. Rebound chance, but she's just able to pounce on it in time to avoid a second look at goal. Big no. Had it intercepted. Hannah Tyree has been a menace in the second half. Agnew had it taken off her foot by Gaspari. Up ahead now, Funk in defense. Cross trying to turn the corner. Comes back to the middle with it. Vigno. Able to turn the corner, now lays it out wide for Cross. And she scores it from an impossible angle. Olivia Cross. Unbelievable goal.
We talked about how dangerous she's been in the offensive third in this game, and she hit the post to open this second half, and I was able to come down, and she was just able to pick Nether up a little bit off of her line there, lofts it up and over, finds that back corner, and knocks this one up. And we talked about it. The longer that Waldorf hung around, the more nervous you had to be that they were going to find a way to tie this one up, and they've done just that.
It's 1-1 now with 26 minutes, 31 seconds left to play in the first half. Olivia said, "What cross? This is a shot." And makes it. And now all of a sudden we've got a new game. For all the opportunities for UHSP. Here's another one. Rogers turn and fire. Just a touch high. What a finish this is shaping up to be. And for some of the trouble that Mia Ramirez has had getting it out of her own end, she's had to make a couple of saves here in the second half. She has been up to the task. And once again, UHSP putting themselves in great position, just a lot of these shots eluding the frame of the goal here. Assist on that goal for Olivia Cross goes to Riley Vigno. And now let's see if that equalizer gives a burst of energy to Waldorf, or if it lights a fire under UHSP.
We talk about response. When Waldorf went down, what was the response going to be? Well, they turned around near the end of that first half, really started to put the pressure on, continued here in the second half. Now, for UHSP, what's the response be? You've had opportunities, you've had looks, you've had multiple shots towards the net. How do you respond now to try and find a way to retake this lead?
Rogers looks determined out there. Couldn't get on the end of that one. Slemmer able to give it back to the Eutectics. Park coming wide. Chamness trying to run it down, but could not get there before Peyton Witt did. The assister on that last goal, Vigno, sending it ahead towards Cross, who scored it. Vigno working back, battling against Agnew to win this one. Witt up to Cross. Funk trying to upend her. Good work by Chamness to come back for it. And how about that quick foot by Park to send it back to the midfield? Chamness couldn't quite get there.
And now you have to wonder, when are they going to get Stegman back in? She was showing some signs there before being subbed out. What's the time frame for sitting and then getting back into this game and seeing if you can make something happen?
Another Waldorf throw incoming. Cross couldn't keep it in. Funk calling her shot. Gaspari able to win that one, but Funk takes it right back. Park showing off the footwork once again. Poliano now couldn't settle it cleanly, and it's taken back by Jameson Graham. Poliano, good timing on that challenge. Rogers trying to make a run now. Poliano trying to get on the end of it. Ramirez well off her line to grab it at the top of the box.
What a play by Valenciano, too, to help guide that one to her keeper, keep the onrushing forward at bay. One of those plays that doesn't show up in the score sheet that can turn the tide of the game.
Quick movement here as Hildebrand gets it for Agnew. Agnew not on the same page as Tyree that time. Park. Big shoulder to send Gaspari to the ground, but Cross able to run down that pass. Slemmer cuts this one off. Slemmer too heavy on that touch. Really impressive the way that Waldorf has hung in this one with very few numbers on that bench. It's been pretty much the entirety of the game for all of these Waldorf players out there on the pitch. Cross.
Getting a needed water break. She has been running rampant on this field so far today.
She comes over and tells her coach, Dr. Thomas Goodman, I ain't got nothing left. And you know what? Something in me doesn't believe that, Michael.
No, not at all. She's been the straw that stirs the drink for this Waldorf team here today. And again, we said it, they've done enough to hang around. They have frustrated this Tactics team and pushed when they needed to, but they haven't overextended themselves. I mean, we've been looking at it. Really, it's just been a couple subs here and there, and with the fact that, Webb's still sitting out, that's another sub that they've essentially dropped off of there. They don't have much when it comes to relief, but they've played within themselves and allowed themselves to stay in this game. For Tactics, you got to just keep going back to that. You're getting opportunities, you're getting looks. Now it's about settling it down and finishing one. That's all you need. You're not trying to score 4 or 5. You get one, you get the lead back, and you can find a way to win. And it's not about making the extra touch, it's just about settling that ball down just enough to put that ball on frame.
Yeah, we have seen so many shots go over the bar in the second half. In fact, some of the best shots that they've had have gone over the bar, and now Gaspari getting looked at for Waldorf. So signs of fatigue, signs of players maybe a little bit overheated over there for Waldorf. Meanwhile, for UHSP, again, something we talked about in the first half, the work that Chris Anzalone has done with this team with the strength and conditioning. Does that pay off over these last 21 plus minutes of this game and make the difference in trying to find a game-winning goal?
We say that this Waldorf team has a short bench. It's not like the Tactics have been subbing relentlessly. I mean, they've got their 2 or 3 that they have rotated in and out. Both teams are in the same boat. You look at Slemmer, she's played the entire game. You look at Funk, she's played the entire game on that back line, and they've been doing some work here in the second half. So we'll see how they manage that as the rest of this one goes on, and what happens if they do find that go-ahead goal. What do they do then? Do they bring in some more defense and maybe take a forward off of there and try to salt this one away? Or do they continue to push? We'll have to see how it plays out, but Still 21-23 to go in this one. A lot of soccer still to play. It looks like Aspari's going to have to check out of this game as well. Thurman will check back in.
Peyton Witt to throw it in from deep in their own end.
Minus one.
Agnew. He is just relentless energy and effort out there. Thurman off of Brown comes right back to the feet of Thurman. Slemmer able to clear it away partially. Vigno couldn't settle it cleanly. And now Chamness with a little bit of space. Looking for Tyree, but it's Witt instead back the other way. Funk. The quick touch, and now Brown with some room. Just shoved right off the ball by Park. Park has been excellent here as a sub. Now a couple of subs coming ready to get into this game for UHSP as Cross sends one feebly into the box. Lila Stegman and Caitlin Knoll getting ready to come back. Tyree. Strong second half continues. To the far side, Coliano with a burst of speed. Cut off though last second, Valenciano. This is a corner kick for UHSP. And now the subs coming on. Stegman and Knoll replacing Chamness and Funk. And now Vigno will get a breather.
Oh, no, you're good.
Ella Abdendries coming back in for her. Corner from Rogers is a bouncer in, and it skips over the bar. Ramirez came out for it, and I guess it did not contact her. I couldn't tell if that caught somebody as it skipped over, but must have been a UHSP player.
Yeah, it looked like it popped off the top of a knee and up and over the crossbar. That's another one that goes over the top of the frame.
And that's unfortunate for UHSP because it looked like Ramirez was caught in no man's land that time.
But with the inability for this Warriors team to get that ball out off goal kicks, not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, this U-Technics team has picked off 6-7 of those clearance attempts and gotten right back in.
Look out, Rogers slips one through and in. Izzy Rogers. Hildebrand for Rogers. How many times have we heard that combination?
And the first of many times you'll hear it this year as well. And just another one of those slow rollers that just eludes the keeper. It's not been the hard shots. It's been the slow rollers that have gotten past the keepers and been the difference in this game.
Well, that was a veteran move from a sophomore right there. We've talked about so many of these shots having a little too much mustard on them, going over the bar. She made sure that one wasn't going over. U-Technics back in front, 2-1 with 18 minutes left to go in this one. Knoll cuts it off. Now making a run up the field. Able to stick with it here. And eventually that run peters out, but Stegman comes back for it, gets it to Tyree. Everything has started with Tyree. And, you know, it's worth noting that it was Tyree that got that ball to Hildebrand on the goal for Rogers. that has been the magic connection. Anytime they get the ball to Hannah Tyree, specifically in the second half, good things have happened.
Yeah, picked up 2 assists last year. She is definitely one of those players that you can run an offense through. She has the vision. And again, that's another sophomore out there that is doing that. And team aspect, that doesn't matter what level you're at, junior, junior, sophomore, freshman, you play into the team aspect and you're going to find opportunities. And that's exactly what Tyree's been able to do this game.
Gaspari being brought back to the bench in a sling in that right arm, and it's Webb escorting her along the way. Ball in the midfield. Tyree got a foot to it. Witt stops it up, and it's right back to Tyree. Peyton Witt says not so fast. Cross now. Foot race, and it's won by Trinity Wimberly.
I called her name much here in the second half, but it's because Warriors haven't gone to that side. And I think after seeing her first half, you see why.
Yeah, no question. She and Slemmer, an excellent combination on the back end. Coliano for Tyree. You can see the legs a little heavier now for both sides. Through ball, Rogers trying to race onto it, but Valenciano guiding it back to Ramirez. Look out. Rogers nearly got to it, and Hildebrand comes away with a turnover here. Izzy Rogers. Over the bar.
She's trying to do what Cross did to get the equalizer.
Yeah, I saw Ramirez creeping up towards that 6. Thought maybe she could slide one in behind her, but not this time. Rachel Harris in the first half. The opening goal for UHSP. Haven't seen Harris except for a few minutes in the second half. She has come off. And then the equalizer came from Waldorf's cross. And the go-ahead goal just minutes ago from Izzy Rogers.
Valenciano is going to have to come off. Referee is making her come off. And I think Waldorf has any subs.
Emma Funk coming into the game for Caitlin Knoll. Valenciano making the slow walk over.
They're playing one short.
No subs left for Waldorf as Valenciano comes off. So UHSP up a woman here. Stegman over to Park. Elects to play it back to Slemmer. Through the middle, it's Hildebrand. Cross, giving her triple though. Able to turn it over, but there is Park. Park has been outstanding in the second half. Tyree showing off the footwork. This is incredibly impressive. Stegman now. Corner kick. Maybe not. Goal kick awarded.
Very emphatic call there. Oh, look, if you're Waldorf, you know, the fact that you're continuing to play this hard, a player down, and it's a close game, you gotta take this and build off of it. I mean, it may end up being a loss, and it is what it is, but you're definitely seeing a lot from your team in a moment like this. And, you know, for head coach Goodman, it's showing you what you got.
Well, I know these cliches get old, but the heart and grit shown by Waldorf has been incredibly impressive, and they have earned that cliche today. That's not just me saying that. Brown, a little late to recognize that one was coming her way, and now Sarah Agnew, who appears to never run out of energy, gets it over to Hildebrand. Cut off, though, nicely by Graham. Hildebrand wins it right back. She is so skillful. Coliano. Cutting it in. Couldn't quite get enough on that one. Cross conservatively sends it out for a corner. She hits my card. Come on.
That's why you park behind the goal where the netting is at.
Maybe I'll get smart enough one of these days. This is Izzy Rogers. Coliano for Hildebrand, another one over, and that sends the water bottle to the turf from Coach Jameson.
You gotta love the pass, too, off of that cross, too. It wasn't even they were looking for that. They knew what to expect, and it was perfectly laid off, and Hildebrand just could not get over the top of it and pop that one up and over the top.
Still 12 minutes left to go in this one, and a win is a win, but the Eutectics are going to look back on this tape and see a number of opportunities that they should have cashed in on in this game. And early in the season, plenty to work on. Hildebrand giving chase. It's a throw-in for UHSP.
Well, non-conference early in the season, you can get away with this. I mean, you're trying to figure out what you've got.
Agnew steps into one, had it blocked in front, trying to usher it along to Stegman. Finally gets it to Lila. Freshman battling over there. Good effort shown right there by Abdendries. And now Stegman appears to be cramping. Knoll is coming into the game. She will replace Coliano. .11 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this one. Izzy Rogers with the go-ahead goal to make it 2-1 UHSP. They're looking for some insurance. And again, we've seen a couple of injuries. Valenciano just had to come off. Waldorf is playing a woman down. Funk trying to center one up. Pops straight up into the air. Knoll sends it towards Ramirez, who scoops it.
And again, got to credit what Waldorf is doing too. They're continuing to try and push forward as well. They know that they can find an equalizer, even down a player. They're not settling into a defensive shell.
Well, they cannot afford to anymore, as this one is covered up by Ramirez. .30 left as they continue to check on Valenciano. Funk couldn't quite keep that one in as Stegman sent it over the touchline. Witt throws in. Agnew sends it right back into her lap. They play pass with one another. Sarah Agnew will not be denied. Now a long ball sent ahead. Brown's got a beat on this one towards the corner. An excellent ball there for Waldorf. Brown near the top of the box. That one off the side of the foot of Thurman. Abdendries couldn't get the touch she wanted on it, and neither could Thurman. Rogers trying to turn on one, and now she does. Look out. Here comes the speed of Izzy Rogers. Little hesitation move on her left foot. Tough angle here. She turns it back in and scores it. Izzy Rogers' second goal of the second half to make it 3-1 Eutectics.
Well, they've contained her for 2/3 of this game, but as you get to no subs and now you're a player down, it's only a matter of time before Rogers is going to find a lane, and that's exactly what she did there. Used a little bit of the hesitation and then turned on the jets, pulled the goalie out, and was still patient enough to wait for that opening to slip it past the keeper in Ramirez. And 2 big goals for Rogers here, and she just continues on her pace.
And the minute that Mira Ramirez committed to that one, you could just tell Rogers knew she had the goal. Just a deft little touch near the 6-yard mark, and Brown takes one right to the face. This is almost exactly what we saw with Sarah Agnew from point-blank range in the first half. Shakira Brown pops right back up to her feet as well, and now Waldorf is down 2 players.
On a hot day like today, a ball to the face is the last thing you want. And I can credit them every time. Bounce right back up. They're tough out there.
Yeah, in this heat, that's enough alone to have your head banging out there, and then you get one squared up as well. And again, got to praise the toughness and grit from all of these players that we've seen today, all the way around. Agnew continuing to show her conditioning. Cross. Funk breaks it up, right back to the feet of Cross, and this will be a goal kick. Brown and Vigno set to check back in.
Well, that's big for Waldorf. That gets them back to 11 out there. To get the hamstring taped up, but playing to the team name, she's definitely a warrior getting back out there.
Embodying the spirit as Nether sends it away. Gets it to the feet of Knoll. Hildebrand right back to her. They combine up the far sideline. Rogers turns on the Jets. Izzy into the side of the net.
I'm looking at the sideline. I'm not sure if that's what Coach Jameson wanted to be the result of that play. Had a couple of runners going into the front of the box, get that cross in, give them an opportunity.
Now a multi-goal lead for the first time today for UHSP. Some nervous moments in the second half when Waldorf found an equalizer from Cross, but Izzy Rogers has responded in kind with a couple of her own. Hildebrand assisting on the first. All Izzy on the second one on a breakaway. And if you're just now joining us, it was Rachel Harris in the first half for UHSP. Played a couple of minutes in the second half. We have not seen her since. Wimberly giving chase. Able to get it to Knoll. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in this one. Park into the middle for Agnew. Ty Jordan into the game for the first time. Freshman had a touch wearing the 37 jersey, and now Stegman with a chance. Lila couldn't get it past the foot of Ramirez. The rebound is blocked in front on the shot by Agnew. Wow, what a block there by Kylie Charles.
That's one way to pick up your keeper after she makes a tough save. Get on that back line and protect, and saved a goal right there.
That was high-level stuff from Waldorf. Funk into Jordan. Skips out over the touchline. CU Tactics throw. Cassidy Wiseman set to come on for the U-Tactics.
She'll check in for Stegman. She gave a little wave to the bench once again.
Stop.
Here comes Cassidy. And now Stegman on. Five minutes, 10 seconds. Rogers had it saved. Mia Ramirez diving to her right. Wiseman with her first touch of the game. It rode up onto her hand, and Waldorf will get it on the restart. Waldorf needing to push bodies forward now. Hildebrand off the referee. Not only has Waldorf been tough in this one, we've seen this referee take a spill. Now he takes a shot to the chest and appears unaffected by it all.
I mean, the players have gotten it. The refs are saying, hey, we're in it too. We'll take it as well.
And by the way, they've been out here for 2 games in a row. Good ball up ahead. Brown couldn't quite get to it as Nether collects at the top of the box.
That is definitely something we haven't talked about. These refs have been out here for 2 games, running up and down the pitch. Just shows, again, the need for officials and what they do to make sure that these games go on for these young men and women.
Talk about the conditioning of UHSP, the conditioning of these referees off the charts. Might have been keeled over after about the first half of the first game, I think.
We're sitting down and we get winded, so,
Agnew, just a touch high. Yeah, I remember when we had to broadcast the games through the masks during COVID, realizing how out of shape I was. Wow, I'm sitting down and can't catch my breath just because I have to talk through a mask. That's not good.
Oh, the early 2020s.
What a time to be alive. Cut off by Wiseman, but she couldn't quite save it. Two minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this one. Vigno looking for space. Knoll stepping in front of it. And now up ahead to Spatorico. We haven't seen Spatorico too much in the first half. Called her name quite a bit in the first. More sparingly in this half. Slemmer, confident play right there. Cross. Booting it out for a UHSP throw. Seeing Cross more removed later in this game as she has run out of energy. And again, you cannot blame these Waldorf players. Slemmer. Sidestep move. "50 seconds left to go." Wimberly and Park combining with the defensive play. Now Knoll. Up for Izzy Rogers. Does she have a hat trick in the second half in her? Not to be. Ramirez on top of it. Ty Jordan. Another one off the referee. And the final seconds tick off the clock. UHSP in their first game of the season with a 3-1 victory. Goals from Rachel Harris and then two more in the second half from Izzy Rogers.
Gutty performance from both teams, but Waldorf especially after losing a couple of players to injury, having to deal with the heat. They battled until the very end, but it wasn't enough as U Tactics used their experience, used their veterans to finally find a way to salt this game away. They had chances, still some stuff to work on. They're going to have a tough couple of days of practice before they get to their next game, which is coming up in 2 days' time. So not a lot of time to regroup, but a solid win for the U Tactics. And for Waldorf, you got to hold your head high. You battled through. You got this game tied up. You put pressure on throughout the entire game. It's just a matter of running out of bodies. And if they had a full bench, this could have gone a different way.
No question about it. Great effort from Waldorf. They come up short, just a little too much talent and depth on that